And welcome back. As we told you a little earlier, in celebration of World AIDS Day, the AIDS Quilt is in Springfield. So now we're going to go back out to Tom at National Avenue Christian Church with more. Maybe he even has his test results. Tom, what you got for us?
I absolutely have test results, and you know, part of the remembrance, part of the education, part of everything when it comes to HIV is knowing. And one of the most important things to know is whether you're positive or negative. Now, John, you administered the test a little earlier.
Yes, sir.
And now we have the results. And so I'm comfortable. Tell people what my result is.
Tom, you're HIV negative.
I am negative. Okay. Now, how do I make sure it stays that way?
The best way is knowing your status, getting tested frequently. If it's 3-6 months to make you feel safe, maybe it's a year. One of the biggest things you can do for HIV is actually PrEP. There's a medication called pre-exposure prophylaxis. You take it every day. It's essentially birth control for HIV. Just a pill you put with your regular routine meds, and it prevents HIV by over 99%.
Okay.
You combat that also with U equals U, undetectable equals untransmittable, zero risk.
But 99% still says there's 1%. That's why you still get tested.
Yeah, you got to know your status. Everyone has a status. Now you know yours.
Now, if you had said, Tom, you're positive, my question is going to be, what do I need to do? What do I need to do then?
What you need to do is let us take care of you. That's what we do. We get you in for labs. We get you in with mental health. We make sure you get on good meds. We get you undetectable. You live your life. That's really all it is.
We have a program that if you were tested at APO, or you don't even have to be, but if you came in to us and told us you were positive, John's crew would immediately walk you down to the clinic, would plug you in with the nurse, who is then going to plug you in with the provider, and more than likely you're going to leave APO that day with HIV medications, which is totally different than the way it used to be. We want you on it now.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you are there. APO is there. You guys are on the front line, and this is, of course, the response that you give. Immediate. You know where to go with all of these things, and so many of us are in the dark. There are so many ideas, so many misconceptions, and you're there to give people truth and fact and science and the things that we know and we can do. So that's your job then.
Right.
Now, of course, to remember all the people who may not have had the advantages that we have today. Again, let's remind people about the quilt.
Well, and I think your test plays into that, because you know, the one thing that has not changed over this entire pandemic of AIDS, from going back to the 80s to 2021, the one thing that has not changed is the stigma and the shame that comes either with a positive diagnosis or being tested. And so we want to help break that stigma and shame so that this doesn't happen to your life.
Yeah.
You know, but we want to invite everybody to come see. You know, we lost doctors, we lost artists, we lost husbands and wives and children. I mean, we have panels here of 9-year-olds, husband and wives, lovers, best friends. We want everybody to come see this and just it's just a memorial tribute.
And for every person who is on the panel, there may be dozens more that are connected to every single panel. So those numbers are staggering when you think of them.
Yeah.
And at least we have a defense. We have programs. We have help for anyone who may test positive. Right. The stigma is no different than if someone says, well, you have a broken leg. It's just something that you have, and now you take care of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Big time. Yeah.
You know, if people want to find out more about the different programs, the different services, the education that is available through AIDS Project of the Ozarks, how do they get that kind of information?
Well, they can go to apo-ozarks.org and see that on our webpage. They can call us at APO, and depending if it's educational, they'll be routed to John's department for prevention outreach. They will talk about that. If they need to be set up for testing, free testing of HIV and other STIs, they can make that appointment over the phone. They can go to APO downtown, and where we do walk-in testing down there.
All right. So again, the website is what?
apo-ozarks.org.
All right. Very good. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you administering the test there.
Thanks for being here,
Always
Tom.
good
It means
to
a
see
lot.
you. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Joy, back to you.
Full disclosure, I've been on the APO board for a few years, and it always makes me proud to know that when people come in and get a diagnosis, they can get treated right away. So Tom, Wade, everyone, thank you so much for all you do. All right, coming up.